too. So, woo! Great morning. Fired up. Now you know what these kids are going through all week. Getting them up early, getting after life. That's what we're about. Triple M is live. Got my herbal waffle right here. Herbalife Formula 1 and egg whites. Bomb. Got my hot Herbalife tea because we about to go in. Woo! And we got nuggets. All right, so you got to get your nugget book. Shout out to Tony for that name, aka your notebook. And we're going to be listening to Joel Osteen's top 10 rules for success today. He has a mega church out in Houston, I believe. Really, really great guy. I love his energy. And he's going to be sharing his top 10 rules for success. It's not necessarily a Christian base, like you have to be Christian to get nuggets. Remember, you can get nuggets from everywhere. Spiritual nuggets, intellectual nuggets, relationship nuggets, financial nuggets. It's all developing the person. So get your notebook out. We're going to have live shares at the end. If you're able to share, I'm going to ask who's got a nugget to share. Give me a thumbs up or a smile. If you're at work, you can't share live, no problem. Put it in the chat bar and where you're from. And if you're watching a recording, awesome. Repost the link on your Facebook or Instagram with your biggest takeaway. And without further ado, let's get to major nuggets from Joel Osteen. Top 10 rules for success. Let's get it.
It's easy to go through life holding on to things that are weighing us down. Guilt, resentment, doubt, worry. The problem is when we allow these things in, they're taking up space for the good things that should be there. Imagine your life is like a container. You were created to be filled with joy, peace, confidence, creativity. But if you allow worry in, it pushes out the peace. There's not space for both. You can't go above 100%. You have a limited amount of room. If you allow guilt to take up space, that's space that you don't have for the confidence you need. And the reason some people don't enjoy their lives is because their container, their heart is contaminated with so many things. They have 10% worried, stressed out over their job, 12% bitterness, mad at their neighbor, 20% guilt, beating themselves up for past mistakes, 9% jealousy, their coworker is more beautiful. They don't realize 70% of their container is negative. They wonder why they don't have joy, creativity, passion. They only have room for 30% of what they should have. And the scripture says, give no place to the enemy. It's not just talking about forces of darkness. That means give no place to guilt. Give no place to worry. Give no place to bitterness. It can't come in and automatically take over. You control what's in your container. You control what you think about, what you choose to allow in. And we all have negative emotions, negative feelings. But you have to make the choice. I'm not going to give this jealousy, this bitterness, this anger, valuable space and let it poison my life. I'm going to protect what I allow in me. And every morning when we wake up, we need to empty out anything negative from the day before. Somebody offended you at work. They didn't treat you right. It's easy to let that offense stay. Feels good to carry around a grudge, but you have to be disciplined. Say, no, I am not giving this offense any room. I am not going to let it sour my day. They hurt you once. Don't let them continue to hurt you by holding on to the offense. Being offended is not harming them, it's harming you. It's taking up space you need for the good things to move you toward your destiny. Take inventory of what you're giving space to. Life is too short to go through it with negative things holding us down. There's a large company that has a slogan that says, that was easy. A few years ago, a friend of mine sent me their big red button. When you push it, it says,
that was easy.
And I keep this by my bathroom sink there on the counter. Every so often, I reach over and push this button. I like to get that phrase down in my spirit because it's easy to go through life looking at our problems, focused on our obstacles, thinking, oh man, this is going to be so hard. I dread dealing with this. It's never going to work out. That mindset is not only stealing our joy, but it's keeping us from seeing God's favor. When my dad went to be with the Lord and I first started ministering, it took everything I had to write a message for that weekend. all my focus, my creativity, my energy. I was pressured, stressed. When I finally finished, I felt like that's the last one that I could ever do. And if I wasn't careful, I was tempted to dread it and think, this is too hard. I'm not going to know what to say. I can't do this anymore. I had to turn it around. Father, thank you that your yoke is easy. Thank you that I'm well able. Thank you that you've equipped me and empowered me. I got my mind going in the right direction. I went through seasons of struggle, strain, difficulty, but I didn't let it become permanent in my thinking. And one day I came into this anointing of ease. What once was a struggle is not a struggle anymore. Every week when I finish a message, I hit this button.
That was easy.
Just to remind me that it was easy. Quit telling yourself, this is so hard. I'll never accomplish my dreams. I'll never get out of debt. This is a new day.
I let this thing go forever. Come on now. Hit us with some nuggets, Joel.
Quit telling yourself, this is so hard. I'll never accomplish my dreams. I'll never get out of debt. This is a new day. Less energy for them to fly. They could do it by...
Joe, hit me with nuggets, bro. Shh. No talking in the background if you ain't putting in work. You sleeping. Shh.
Of faith. People flying with you, watching over you, encouraging you, inspiring you. After the football game the other night, the star running back was being interviewed. He'd had a great game, set a record for the amount of yards he had rushed. The reporter asked him how he did it. The first thing he said was, it was because of my offensive line. Those guys that block for me, they're the best. And my coaches have poured into me and made me better. My trainers have helped me to get stronger. He recognized that we need each other. You can be good by yourself, but you can't be great by yourself. You won't become all you were created to be without the right people around you. You can go 60%, but when you get in formation, you have a family of faith blocking for you, praying for you, encouraging you, you'll go 40% further. Too often, we base our value on how someone is treating us, or how successful we are, or how perfect of a life we've lived. The problem is, all of those things can change. If you're getting your value out of how people treat you, then if they hurt you, they disappoint you, you're going to feel devalued. If you're basing your value off of your achievements, how much you make, what you drive, the title behind your name, then if something happens and you don't have that position, your business goes down, then your value will go down. And some people don't feel good about themselves because they made mistakes in life. They're not where they thought they would be. Now they're living insecure, feeling inferior. They're basing their value on their performance. How someone treats you doesn't change your value. What they say or do doesn't lessen who you are. Mistakes you've made doesn't decrease your value. That's what you did. That's not who you are. You can buy a bigger house, drive a better car, but that doesn't make you any more valuable. That increases your net worth, not your self-worth. You were already valuable when you had the small apartment, no title behind your name. That position may give you more influence, but not more value. You can be a stay-at-home mom raising your children. You may not have the influence of the CEO, but you have the same value. Value is not based on what you do, what you make, who you know. That's superficial. Those things can change. The enemy works overtime trying to devalue us. He'd love for you to go through life letting what people say make you feel inferior, comparing your life to somebody else's, thinking you'll feel good about yourself when you catch up to them, when you live in that neighborhood. Or when you perform perfectly, when you break the addiction, then you'll feel valuable. But nothing you do will make you any more valuable. Nothing you achieve, nothing you overcome, you are valuable right now. God calls you a masterpiece. You are one of a kind. You didn't come off an assembly line. You weren't mass produced. God made you unique. There will never be another you. Put your shoulders back. Start carrying yourself with confidence. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made. We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person. But if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong things. If you're always feeding negative thoughts, thinking, I'll never get well, I'll never meet the right person, you're feeding doubt, feeding mediocrity, feeding fear. A man told me how he spent years of his life on drugs and alcohol, and it had ruined his marriage, and he wasn't there for his children. Now he was so down on himself, so discouraged. What was he doing? Feeding the guilt, feeding the regret, feeding the blame. If you feed guilt, it's going to get bigger. If you feed fear, it's going to become larger. What if you spent that same energy feeding your faith, feeding your hopes, feeding your dreams? What are you allowing in your spirit? The people you're spending time with, the thoughts you're dwelling on all day, is that inspiring you, building your faith, pushing you towards your dreams? Or is it junk food, feeding you guilt, mediocrity, negativity, causing you to compromise? A friend of mine was diagnosed with a serious illness. The doctor put him on a very strict diet. He couldn't eat any sugar, any flour, any meat. It was only raw vegetables, nuts, grains, very limited. Now I asked him if he was going to do it. He said, what do you mean, am I going to do it? I don't have a choice. My life depends on it. Today, I'm putting you on a new diet. Not physically, but for your inner man. No more junk food. No more dwelling on thoughts of worry, fear. I don't have what it takes. No more hanging around people that are feeding you negativity, causing you to compromise. No more guilt, condemnation. I'm all washed up. Your prescription is for faith food. Feed your hopes, feed your dreams, feed your confidence, feed your destiny. It's easy to have faith. It's easy to believe for your dreams, but faith without patience can get you into trouble. What you're believing for may be taking longer than you thought. You're not making progress, not seeing a dream come to pass, but God knows what He's doing. Don't try to force things to happen. You don't have to promote yourself, manipulate people, convince them to like you. Yes, we should be determined, but you don't have to beat down a door. At the right time, things will fall into place. At the right time, the right people will show up. Now do your part and wait for the promise to unfold. You're not falling behind. You're not being left out. You're right on schedule. When we've been believing for our dreams to come to pass for a long time, or problems to turn around, and we don't see anything happening, we're not making progress, we're not getting good breaks, it's easy to lose our passion and not expect things to change. It's been that way so long, we start accepting it. I'll never get well. I'll never break.
That's a good spot to stop. Awesome, you guys. Great nuggets. Your boy dropped them on us. I'm excited to hear some takeaways. Rox, what you got?
All right. I always go first, and I'm like not ready to go. But what's up, you guys? Happy Monday. So some of my very biggest takeaways, I have like all of this of notes, so it's really hard for me to choose just a few, but I really like the very beginning when he was talking about emptying out the negative, and he talked about how, like, to look at ourselves as a container, and inside of our container, what is it the most that we're carrying? And he says over 70% is all negative. You know, if you look at people and you speak to people out inside of the real world, like outside of this bubble right here, most people are continuously complaining. You know, they're continuously gossiping. There's always something wrong. Like, there's never anything like good. You know, you ask people how they are and they'll say good, but it's just like you could tell inside of their voice that things are not good. And so when we become aware of that, then we start becoming aware of more of what we allow ourselves to be poured into and have inside of our own minds and inside of our own thoughts. And when we do that, then we have a different outcome. Why? Because we are being very aware of the things that we are allowing inside of our own minds, which then dictate our reality. So I thought that was really, really good. And then I also love when he was talking about recognizing your value. And he said, your value is not based upon how people treat you. And for instance, for me, like throughout the bigger part of my life, like growing up, I always felt like I had zero value. I felt like I wasn't enough. And I felt like no matter what I did, it was never enough based upon the things that happened inside of my life when I was a child, when I was a teenager, until I started to realize and started to put myself, feeding myself positivity and surrounding myself by different people. I started to really realize that my value was not based upon the things that happened to me or how people treated me. It was all based upon how I saw myself and the kind of person I was to myself and to other people. So I thought that was really, really amazing, because for me, what I've seen in my past, I wasn't able to achieve in my life. Like, I was broke. I had zero goals. My life was just like not what I wanted it to be, but it was all in correlation with what I thought I was worth. And that is the biggest thing. Like, when we see people out in the streets and just outside in the regular world or whatever, you know, you can always tell whether people think they're valuable or not based upon the things that they will accept inside of their life, based on the standards they hold inside of their relationships, and everything in their life is all in correlation with the value that we give ourselves.
Powerful stuff. You're valuable.
Oh, thank you.
Very valuable. All right, you guys. So a couple of takeaways that I got. Number one, empty out the negative. He said, if you're all filled up with negative, how can anything else fit in? This is one of my favorites. I got 2 examples of this that really changed my life. Just being a guy, lots of ego. We know it all. If I ask anybody for help or how they did it, it's seen as weakness because I didn't know how to do it. I came from that background. And then when I heard this old Chinese proverb, I think it was 2 gentlemen. They walked up, they wanted to learn from a monk, and they sat down to learn from him. And then he asked them, hey, they talked for a second, and they were talking a lot, and the guy was always telling him what he thought he knew. And then the monk asked, hey, do you want some tea? And then the monk grabs some tea, and he starts pouring him some tea. He keeps talking. The guy keeps pouring. The monk keeps pouring tea. Guy keeps talking. The monk pours it until the cup overflows on the table. He keeps talking, and eventually the guy says, what are you doing? And the monk says, your cup is already full. No more can go in. And I was like, whoa. And then when I heard Tai Lopez, 67 Steps, if you haven't done that program, you got to do it. I don't get a referral bonus for sending you over there, but it was so powerful for me when he talked about you got to pay attention. If you were rich and successful and somebody came to you wanting to learn, but they thought they knew it all, would you want to help them? And you got to be thinking about, are you the kind of person that people want to pour into if you think you know it already? Like, would a rich and successful person want to pour into if you're like, nah, that can't be true. Nah, you cheated. No, there must be another way. No, that's not right. And I was thinking, I was like, man, that's how I am. Maybe I don't say those things, but I was thinking those things. I had all the reasons why it couldn't work. I had all the reasons why they got a lucky break. I had all the reasons why it wasn't going to work for me. And now my cup was full. Yet I was trying to be where they were. I was trying to get mentoring. I was trying to grow. But I thought I knew it all. And I had to realize that voice was not me. That voice was the negative part of the Adam, the pessimistic voice. I had to say, hey, choose to listen to it or choose not to. Choosing to listen to it, it got me this far. Choosing not to listen to it and to listen to somebody that's there, I hadn't tried that yet. So I had to decrease my ego. I had to say, hey, even though that voice is in my head, I'm going to listen to you. Let me try these things you're talking about, even if they don't make sense to me. Even though in my old self, taking advice from another man as a man could look like weakness. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to listen. Whether you're older or younger, whatever. If you got what I want and you're generous enough to share your advice and your experience with me, I'm going to take it and not listen to that voice. That was a game-changing moment for me. Next one, the change your mindset. This is easy button. This is so crucial, you guys, because your life is what you make it. And so many of us, I see it so many times, people talk themselves out of things before they even do it. Before that, they're going up to something, they're like, man, this is going to be so hard. I'm like, you haven't even tried it yet. And for me, you never know when your experiences are going to change your thinking process. I was in Miami for a team retreat about 1.5 years ago. I'm out on the beach. There's this place called Muscle Beach in Miami. They have weights. There's a bar. Olympic bar is 45 pounds, and there's 45 plates on each side. That's 135 pounds. I'm out there with this big swole guy in Herbalife called RC. If you know him, arms are as big as, freaking tires. And he's up there curling it like it's nothing. And then I'm up next, and I'm not going to switch the weight. We out there doing Snap and Instagram, and I'm like, and I pick it up, and I just tell myself, this is easy. Easy work. And I screamed it to myself, and I just curled it. I never curled 135 pounds in my life. But I was not going to go into that saying, this is hard, I can't do this. What would that serve? I said, yo, this is easy, easy work. And I curled it 2 or 3 times. My form wasn't the best. It wasn't like textbook form, but I did it. And right then in that moment, I really understood the power of self-talk. You can tell yourself whatever you want. It's your choice. But what are you telling yourself that's really going to get you to a place you say you want to? Was not curling it, was saying this is too hard and not even trying, was that going to serve me? Or was saying, hey, this is easy, easy work, let's go, and doing it, was that going to serve me? It's just your choice. In that moment, I realized it is what I say it is. It could have been 20 pounds and I said, this is too hard. It would have been too hard. It could have been 200 pounds. I could have said, this is easy, and I could have done it. There was a mom who had a car accident. That car was on top of her kids. Because of the adrenaline rush, she picked up the car off her kids. Have you ever heard that story? That's a true story. So it is what you say it is. And it is what you say it is, even if it's negative. If you say you can't do it, if you say you're always going to be broke, if you say you're not worth it, if you say this is too hard, guess what? It's going to be too hard. And you always going to be broke. And you're not going to be worth it. So really starting to watch and intentionally saying to your things the things you want. This is easy. Easy work. And then get to work. Those are my biggest takeaways. I'll just leave you with one last one. Be patient. You're right on schedule. Patience is power. You're right on schedule. All right, let's get some takeaways. Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to take away. While you guys are thinking about your takeaways, I got Miami Fitmominal. Great morning, guys. Don't fill yourself with negativity. Otherwise, there is no space for positivity. You control what's in your container. I love that. Great stuff. Who's excited to share? Give me a thumbs up or a smile. Let's get it. Keko Fit, a.k.a. Sergio. What you got for us?
Okay, good morning, guys. Glad to be on here. Just real quick, I'm at work, so I just got a real quick take, and that's when he's saying, what are you feeding your mind? What are you surrounding yourself? And that has a lot to do with people that work with other people that can't control their surroundings. You feel you sit there and listen to the gossip. You sit there and you might not be doing it, but little by little, it sinks in and it starts really to show. So try to not surround yourself with all the negativity and stuff like that. And it has a lot to do with the people you work with, but always try to stay positive and what's going in your mind. You know what I mean? And why isn't Joe Osteen on my playlist? This guy's coming on my playlist, guys.
He's awesome.
I love what he was saying. I love what he's about.
You got to check
and that's my share. Thanks for letting me share, guys.
Great share, bro. I love it. Who are you around? Don't be around the gossip. Be the uplifter. And you do got to add in Joe Osteen. He's a beast. Awesome. Great stuff. Thanks for sharing that, Sergio. Let's get a couple more shares. Put your thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to share. Let's get it. Ashley Ann, what you got for us?
All right. right. So good morning, guys. Happy Monday. So basically the favorite line out of the whole thing, I don't even know why, but it stuck out to me when he was talking about the guy who had to eat nothing but like raw vegetables, no meat, no sugar, no nothing. And that was his new diet. And he asked him if he was going to do it. And he's like, I have to because my life depends on it. So the fact that he was like, feed your faith, feed your hopes, feed your dreams, feed like your confidence, feed everything that will add power and like stability into your life, do that like your life depends on it. So that was super powerful for me. So that's my share. I'm definitely going to take that into play.
Love that. Love that. Shout out to the plant-based diet. If you haven't watched What the Health, you need to watch What the Health. That's the same exact message in What the Health. It's on Netflix. But also, I'm reading this book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and they talk about 7-day diet of no complaining. And it might sound simple. It might sound like, oh, no, I don't complain. No, trust me. He said this changes lives. And he said, you know why? Because what you do, you attract. So if you complain, you get more of what you complain about. And I was like, whoa. And then he said, you do it for 7 days because it's going to take some clearing out time, because when you complain, you attract crap, and crap moves at the speed of crap, not at the speed of light. So it's going to take a few days to clear out. I was like, whoa. So 7 days of no complaining. Take it on with somebody. Like me and Roxy, I was like, we got a deal. So we hold each other accountable. She called me and complained. She was like, is that complaint? I was like, okay, you're right. I got to stop it. Cut it right here. Take that on. Change your life. Let's get another share. Who's got a share for us? Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to share. Let's get it. Lizzie, what you got for us?
Hi, good morning. I just wanted to share with you, you know, how you were talking about changing your mindset and stuff, you know, like one of the things that I learned this weekend, you know, like going to those stairs, those Santa Monica stairs, you know, I was just like, wow, this is intense, you know. But after, you know, everyone left, my husband was like, you need to go. Let's just go. Because he did more rounds. He goes, man, I did more than you, and you came with them. But, you know, changing your mindset, like the second set of stairs, those were like killing me. But he says, you got to change your mindset. And that's like this morning, you know, like you have to change your mindset. You can't say you can't do it. You have to do it. And it did feel good, you know. I'm a little sore still, but, you know, but it's a good sore, you know. It's all about changing your mindset, and then, you know, knowing your value, you know, valuing who you are, you know, and what you can do and the lives you could speak into, you know, like, I don't know, I just, as I keep going, you know, and also, like, I'm kind of emotional, but, you know, like, just sharing and being that example. He's actually, you know, wanting to, like, take the shakes now and, you know, join with me, you know, and that's, like, a big blessing for me, you know. So, you know, taking the value, changing your mindset, and then just keep pursuing what you know is best for you, you know. So thank you guys, you know.
I love that. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Really proud of you for beasting those stairs. It's not about how many times. It's just that you went and attempted. Next time it's going to be a little bit easier. Next time it's going to be a little bit easier. Next time you're going to look up one time, if you stay going consistent, and you're going to be on like round 5 and be like, I didn't even think I could do this once at one time. Now I'm on round 5. And then just like you said, you'll be the example for somebody else that's looking at you, that sees you go from none to 5 and like, whoa. So know that you're already making that difference with your husband. Know that there's people that are looking at you at your job and your family and in your friends that are seeing your over 30 pounds loss already on your Herbalife nutrition program and with the community, and that are going to continue. So it's important now, it's bigger than you, that you keep going, because you're changing lives just by your example. So thanks so much, Lizzie. Great stuff. Awesome. I love it. You guys, now we get the chance to pay this forward. I'm going to upload it to YouTube, repost the link. Repost a picture of Joel Osteen with your biggest takeaway. Repost a selfie with your biggest takeaway. Repost a flyer with your biggest takeaway. Do not leave it with you. Again, do not leave it with you. Pay it forward. There's people that don't even know on Monday there's a group that gets together like this to change their mindset for the week. You have access to that, so don't leave it with you. I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. Let's get it. I'm going to take you off mute. Where you at? Let's go.
Woo! Happy Monday!
Nah, you sleeping. Let's get it. All right, y'all.